Hello, and hello everyone, and welcome back to a different type of video. Another different type of video. The only other video that is even similar to this is my GTRP Communities Are Bad video. And oh boy, has it gotten it so much worse since that last video. Instead of talking about, these two today, we're not gonna worry about these, especially this guy. We're not gonna deal with him, Anyway, now that they're out of the way, we're not talking about those guys today. No, we are talking about the drama relating to CVC and all the harassment that we have dealt with as CVC and myself this last 2 months. And oh boy, is it fun, because this actually will be my first attempt of making a semi-serious, actually very serious for the most part, documentary, explaining my experience. So yeah, buckle up, enjoy. Please let me know what you actually think. And everything in this video is 100% truthful. And there will be some comedy bits in here, but that's because, you can only take so much truth at once until you need a break. But yeah, enjoy.
Brady, a local woman says she was harassed, stalked, called racial slurs, and assaulted at Target on Juneteenth.
God damn, you don't shut the fuck up.
You've lost it. You're a fucking... How have I bullied you? Dude, do you know what you did to me?
I looked up to you because you were a good fucking sergeant.
Yeah, I don't want to be
doing it here.
handed
Dude left because he had issues in school.
Because we built a more successful community than you have right now.
Do you feel like opinions and people's rights, First Amendment right-wise, when it comes to freedom of speech and actually having an opinion, is that followed there? Are people allowed to do that? No?
No, it's not, man.
What happened there is what's happening in the world right now. There's two sides to every story, and when people get one side of the story, they just immediately believe that, and they don't want to listen to the other. They take one side of the story, whether it's fact or fiction, and don't wait for the other side of the story.
Go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sobos. I am the moderator and civilian director of FGRP.
Okay, and what are your opinions on PlexBank?
When he was first joined, he was cool. He was good with everyone. Everyone liked Plex. But when he started not getting his way in CVC, he showed us his true malicious, manipulating side of things. And boy, was it good.
Now, for anyone wondering what you just saw, that is just a little glimpse of what you're going to see in today's video. The server that we are obviously referring to is FGRP, or Forgotten Roleplay. Now, this community is something that was completely created off of banned or leaving members of CVC, and that is what we like to call in the RP community a branch off server. Now, why would I be making a video specifically based on 3 certain people that we will get into this video? Plex, Alex, and Lushbug. You may know these people from my channel, or you may know them from FGRP. What did they do that caused such a big issue that I had to make a video on it? Well, that's what this whole entire thing is about. The amount of stuff that we, as a team, as a member group, as CVC as a whole, have had to deal with, deserves its own video. And I think as a whole, when it comes to the RP community, this kind of gives an idea of what servers and staff members alike have to deal with, and the drama and the stupidity that follows it. Do I support this type of drama? No. Honestly, it's very childish. But when it gets personal to the way it did with this, I'm going to say something. PlexBank leaves the server over a conversation that we had with staff team. Main reason, didn't get what he wanted. What was that exactly? He couldn't get chat moderator. After he left the server, we ended up having a verbal conversation, as you can see by the DMs, and that led with him saying that he respected us, but he just needed a break. Fast forward less than a day later, screenshots are being sent in from a new server that he's created called Forgotten Hub. Forgotten Hub is a server that has created the most hate I think I've ever seen. So, Slush, go ahead and introduce yourself to the yacht.
Hello, everyone. If you don't know already, I am Slush. I am a former Forgotten RP developer and admin and head of interview server. You know, I I really held back my opinions, and then once I realized that I didn't really need to give a shit, that I had no obligation to, I started sharing my opinions, and I find them to be kind of interesting. I'm not sure if very many other people do, but I don't know. A lot of shit happened in that server, and I was on the front lines of it, so.
You kind of giving your own opinions. Was there ever any backlash for you just trying to leave the server and just getting out those opinions, or was it pretty calm for the most part, the ride out of there?
Dude, calm would have been the fucking best way for it to go down, but man, that's not how it happened. They had, from what I heard, I left the server, so I can't speak for this, but I heard from multiple staff members that there was a 3-hour-long hate meeting revolving around me. I got people threatening to dox me. At one point, I had a death threat for leaving the server. I don't know. The whole community is fucking toxic. Multiple people dropped me, but my real friends were the ones who really stayed with me. And, I really do want to give a shout out to a lot of my friends who stayed with me. Thank you. But no, it was fucking horrible, the backlash that I got.
And do you feel comfortable going into just a little bit of detail about maybe some of the backlash you got? Like any stories at all?
Oh, sure. I'll go into it. That Irish. Okay, you know my feelings about it. At the time, I really liked Irish. He was really chill to me before I left, and the night that I left, he joined our chat and was chill for a minute. And then he was screaming at me and fucking Sandman for leaving the server because of personal reasons and shit. Like, Sandman had school, and I have school, and not only that, I have a job now. I'm fucking working. I don't have time for an RP server,
You were top. I looked up to you because you were a good fucking sergeant.
Yeah, I don't want to be
doing it
handed
here.
my
Dude left because he had issues in school. He left because he had issues in school. He was always on his phone during school. Yeah, you weren't there to listen to that conversation. I had to pull him into a private chat. And I didn't want him to leave.
No.
I did not want him to leave. But you know what?
So, Forgotten Hub becomes this big annoyance that the entire staff team at CBC has to deal with, and this includes Lushbug and Alex at the time. Let's go ahead and first start off with Lushbug and the things he actually did. Alrighty, Taqz. Pretty much, I just want you to explain to the people who you kind of are, because some people don't know you or haven't heard from you for a bit, so let's kind of get to know you a bit.
Well, I'm Taqz. I've been on and off the game with CBC for 3 years now. When I was here in my last stint, I was the media director for the 5M side, and I've been here and with friends with Poogan on and off again for 3 years now.
Okay, Taqz, so, you said off and on, so you've obviously left and came back a few times. How did we start talking, again, this time around?
Yeah, so the way that you and me came back into contact was I actually messaged you on Discord one night, because I was going through some personal stuff in my real life. Some very, not very mentally well, I was in a really bad place. And I really just kind of thought back to how much fun I had with CBC, and I just wanted to talk to somebody because the stuff that was going on with my family, I couldn't leave my house, and I couldn't talk to anyone, I couldn't see anyone, and so I really just felt alone, and so I wanted to be back with friends, and I knew that I had that outlet at CBC, and so I messaged you, and we just started kind of playing again.
I remember the exact reason why, and I remember all that stuff, and we don't want to obviously get too personal, but do you remember who was with me that night? Because I remember two specific names. I remember Lushbug and Grievous, but I know for a fact that you knew that Lushbug was there, correct? When this was happening? Okay. He was fully aware of what was going on, was very personal, and he was there. He was actually there to help you, right? He was there with me to help you and try to make us all feel better. We were all friends. Okay. Now...
Yeah, so that night, I believe it actually started off with me, Lushbug, and Grievous all playing Warzone. And we were playing, and just out of nowhere, we were just kind of shooting the shit like we always did. And me and Lushbug, we always got mad at each other, but it wasn't anything ever serious. And then just out of nowhere, he starts bringing up my family and all my personal stuff that I had gone through, calling me a racist and telling me that my brother should go to hell and all this and shit, and basically just bringing up everything that had caused me so much like problems and mental health issues in the last month that he knew was super like hard on me to think about, because it actually almost lost me my college. Like I was almost not able to go to college too, which was really hard on me because it was something that I had worked for really hard. And so he just brought that up, and he had no right to, and it just spiraled from there.
A local woman says she was harassed, stalked, called racial slurs, and assaulted at Target on Juneteenth. Now she and her lawyer have brought the matter to the attention of law enforcement. Royden Ogletree has a story.
Here y'all go. Say hi. Y'all want to be racist on Juneteenth? We see you.
So we're playing Warzone. We're all pissed off about, the server not doing great and just 2020 in general. And the first thing that he goes to bring up on you, because you guys get into a small argument, is something that's very personal. Like, that's literally what he brought up first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you even remember the exact reason why he just immediately went super personal on you and tried to go after you for this?
No, he just
Because
kind of like no, he kind of just snapped. Like, it came out of nowhere. That was the thing. I mean, we were just arguing about Warzone, and then just all of a sudden, he just took it to a personal level.
When this happened, it was you, me, and it was me, Lushbug, Grievous, and you. And we were in a party talking when you came to us about it. And so he knows how personal this was, because he's seen it all. But he decided to bring it up still, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
he knew that it had a really hard impact on me.
Yeah. And so it was me, you, Grievous, and Lushbug in a party. And when Lushbug went after you, I didn't actually step in and stop him at first. Who actually did and tried to help you in that situation?
Grievous.
Okay. And Grievous is a person of color, correct? He is a person of color. And when he tried to defend you, what was the first thing Lushbug said to Grievous about that?
He called him a racial slur.
Remember at Xbox parties, just hearing him say that, I'm like, what the fuck? He's saying that in
was,
front of you?
He was sexist and racist as all hell. My friend who was female stopped playing with us, and she was my friend in real life, stopped playing with us because he was so sexist to her. No joke. And
what a fucking guy.
Yeah, and was he racist when you were in parties with him?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he called Grievous the N-word
all the
bunch
time.
of times.
All the time.
Dude, I remember in the roasting session, me and Grievous were doing like Google Translate through the mic, and he called Grievous the N-word like fucking 9 times.
He's the only cypher to be striked for the N-word. After he called Grievous this racial slur, what happened after that? Is that when I then stepped in and said something to get Lushbug?
Yeah, I think that's when you made just the joke about... Actually, I don't think we said anything for a while. I think it calmed down for a little bit.
It did.
And then you said the joke about the internet under the cape, or the internet cable under the water is why you had crap internet or something like that. And then he just went off again. He
decided to get personal, not only with you two, which he already did. He then got personal with me, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was bringing up personal shit about me that obviously I was annoyed with, and I was very upset with, and that set me off, obviously, as you can see by the DMs. So the reason that any of this happened to begin with Lushbug was because of how personal, how disrespectful, and how angry he was getting over just Warzone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So because of this fight, I messaged Lushbug something I should never have messaged anyone, and I do regret it, and I have apologized since then publicly on YouTube and in the DMs of Lushbug verbally and in text. However, this conversation, this argument, I believe, although it should never have happened, did not need to be sent to the thousands of people that they try to send it to. This is a part of the scheme that they had to take down CVC, and that was to message Navity, Khan, Raditz, and all of them the picture. It went even as far as false reporting my admin at the time, Arise, for doxing people when he never once doxed Lushbug, yet he tried to start that argument. And even later in an episode with Kostya, a podcast, Lushbug even states that this isn't true. So, what are your opinions on Alex and Lushbug?
Well, They first joined back in July of last year. They had a brotherhood. They bonded together really well. Then when we moved forward into the last months of CVC, they showed us their more sinister, evil side of it.
So these two guys that were, helping the server and were being beneficial and stuff, the last month they were here, they had a different complete side to them that no one's seen before?
Yes, it was really, really evil. Caught everyone off guard.
Okay, picture this. Our staff are being notified every day that Forgotten Hub is creating hate and starting drama behind our backs. We have reports coming in from multiple people, lengthy paragraph reports explaining stuff. Alex and Lushbug are fully aware of the situation that the Forgotten Hub is causing. In our server, we have a rule to block contact from people that are permanently banned from our server that are causing issues. Alex was asked to remove Plex Bank and a few other people from his servers, yet he refused to do so. Instead of verbally talking with us, he decided to leave the server over it and cause drama. As you can see, these DMs here, I wanted nothing to do with him. But right here, this shows the true person Alex was becoming.
Really, this starts back in the hub. So when we first made the Forgotten Hub, it wasn't really meant to take down CVC at all. We actually wanted nothing to do with you guys at first. We actually made the server to go and keep in contact with banned players because, we have a lot of friends who've been banned. Personally, I have a shit ton of friends who've been banned. So I kind of want to keep in touch with them. That's what the server was meant for. It got turned into a hate server when Lushbug and Alex both joined. And when Plex kind of just quit really giving a fuck.
I would remember specifically too, members trying to join off his Discord, and they'd contact him, and what was his response? CVC's dead, 5 members. You'd think these two moved on, but they continued to go after members in CVC. And what do you think they told them? Bullshit, lies, continued lies. I bet you every single person that is watching this right now has DMs with Alex and Lushbug that are complete lies of what's happened in our server. Plus, I bet you right now, if you go to look, those DMs were deleted by either Lush or Alex. I asked multiple people that knew they had DMs with Alex and Lush, and they were deleted. It was just a clumped up messages of them talking to themselves. They are hiding from how much evil they try to do to CVC when it was happening.
Plex Bank didn't encourage people sending pizzas to your house, but he for sure did not punish people for doing it. Blackout, XTE, he sent so many pizzas to your house. I remember hearing it so much that, oh yeah, dude, Blackout just ordered a shit ton of pizzas to Poogan's house. And, Crucifix was leaking your address. I remember I actually forced him to take your address down. I told him that shit was unacceptable.
I was actually scared for my family's safety and myself. And I actually had to contact my local sheriff's office that day, telling them that if they were to get a call and would have to swap me, they would at least keep in mind that it could be false. Imagine me or someone else getting shot accidentally by police because you wanted to swap me over a roleplay server.
People are just doing so much shit, and I didn't really approve of it, but yet I didn't have a fucking say. What it was is that pretty much everything had to run through Plex Bank, and obviously, yeah, everything did have to run through him, but there were just some things where an admin should have power to do things, or a dev should have power to do things, and I didn't have power to do that much at all. I got promoted to admin, and, I started getting more involved with the deep shit of the server, and once Alex and Lushbug started talking to Plex Bank more, and they started, jerking each other off more, that's when the server kind of went to shit.
Once Alex and Lushbug left the server over literally nothing, and they joined that, do you think that was the big turning point, at least in Forgotten Hub, for the hate to start?
Dude, that was the biggest turning point I've ever seen. It went from a simple server, from us just, jokingly saying, oh, fuck CVC. Well, I wasn't joking. I will say that I was for sure not joking about that, as I was pissed off. But everyone else really was joking. They were like, "Oh fuck CBC." They weren't really being too serious about it. But once Alex and Lushbug joined, you know, that's when the hatred really started. That's when it really came off. He got death threats, and to be honest with you, I don't think he really deserved that.
So do you think that because Alex and Lush were so close to me at the time in CVC, that Plex Bank felt like he had CVC in a chokehold then? So he started to feel more powerful?
For sure.
So do you think entirely that is what caused the hatred even in Plex?
I know.
Alrighty, Aflac. Go ahead and explain to the viewers who you are.
Okay, so hello everybody, all the viewers from all 7 quarters of the globe. My name is Aflac. I apologize for the low volume. It's just a certain situation that I'm in, but we're gonna make the best of it. I'm just minding my own business.
So Aflac, you were inside CVC when you did get into Forgotten, and you were giving us a little bit of information about what was going on there. What happened when they found out you were in CVC?
He calls me in. He's like, "Aflac, can we talk?" I'm like, "Sure." Calls me in a private chat, and he's like, "Can you screen share?" And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I want to see your screen. I want to see your messages." And it's like, all right, this is a little sketchy. So I'm like, "Why do you want to see my screen?" He's like, "Just let me see your screen." And I'm like, okay. In my head, they totally know, because I've been in here for 5 days obtaining information, and it's weird. And a lot of people had come from CVC. So it was interesting to see that I had made it 5 days with no discovery, and then this comes. So then I thought I had deleted my messages from anything. As he was talking, I was deleting messages, deleting everything that I had sent to Poogan, Sobos. But the one person who I forgot to text my chats from was Poogan. The one person that I forgot to. So he goes, "Why are you texting Poogan?" I'm like, "That's none of your business." And he's like, "Let me see them." I delete the conversation. He's like, "All right, now you're in deep water." And he's like, and he just went off on a tangent. And I'm like, "You know, don't you?" And he's like, "Know what?" And I'm like, "That I'm a spy." And he goes, "Yes." And they had requested me, why I'm still screen sharing, to go through everything that I had sent to Poogan and the others for the last 5 days. Like, everything. Screenshots, messages, absolutely everything.
Sorry to cut you off, but you talked to Plex. So it was Plex, and then who else? Because you said they. So who else was a part of that?
And then I had to meet with the security team individually as well.
They had a security team in their RP server.
Yes, they had a 2-man team, the same stuff with Plex, that I was in there for 2 hours for. So 3.5 hours of going through messages and explaining what was going on.
So it was Plex and then 2 individuals you don't want to name that were a part of the security team?
Yes.
Okay. So after a majority of people leave the server and are now in Forgotten, and Alex and Lushbug has successfully done what they wanted to do, I thought all was over. Everything our server, our members, our staff team, myself, people from a year, 2, 3 years ago worked for was almost gone. And it was done with just 3 people and some lies in a few weeks of time. And I was upset. Hello and hello and welcome back to the video on the CVCRP server. Today I'm joined here with Sobos. Go ahead and say hello. Imagine being told that you don't deserve what you worked hard for, and that your members don't deserve anything. I had my head admin and admin, who were 15 and 16 years old, their faces being posted all over the internet and being harassed, and they did nothing whatsoever towards any of these people. And it was okay. Now we're at the turning point where Forgotten is now a thing, it is now an entity, but because of the way they acted before and the way they acted after, and the hatred that server created towards us and towards other people within that server, that's where it began to fall.
I mean, the facts that, he allowed people to send you death threats and, send pizzas to your house and leak your address and shit and hit you offline and stuff like that, the fact that he, allowed that is, I'd say, a lot of evidence there. People can attack people in real life over this, but they get one server strike in your server,
and they they lose a staff position. That's it. Is that all they get? I mean, it got so bad that Discord actually had to step in and take care of it by this picture here. And you wanna know what this guy did? Let him back in their server on an alt and told Blackout, change your name so no one knows it's you. You're a snake, Plex.
I mean, yeah, you have the evidence that there was literally pizzas being sent to your house. You know, the death threats, you know, that, you know, your family was impacted by this. You know, it's just, I feel like that's a lot of proof there, just coming from you. But I remember the planned attacks against your Zello, and that those were held many times. You know, I remember being told many times, we're going to take CVC down. CVC is so dead right now. I remember taking part. I remember actually leading some of those hate things on CVC. I remember going into your server on an alt and, you know, sharing like all of your members and your staff members and all that onto, you know, Forgotten, posting it in our fucking secret chat and shit.
When Alex and Lush joined this hub, did they end up joining the main server then, the Forgotten, once it was created?
Yes, they joined, I think, when it was created, when it first got created. The night I didn't interview them. It may have been Tyson who did. I don't know how the fuck they joined. It may have been a executive order by Plexbank that they were to join, but I know that they never went on RP. I can't even recall them hopping on RP a single time.
There's only one RP that's been documented for those two. So not only are Alex and Lushbug, these people that are causing issues for their server that makes it look bad, allowed to stay in just because they're quote-unquote protecting their server from me, but their server is stealing documents from CVC. It's a copy and paste version of CVC with chats.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go on those before I go on my next one. Executive orders, man. I'm telling you right now, I've never seen a fucking man make so many executive orders in my life. Executive orders is basically decisions that none of us agreed on and himself agreed on, and he ends up enforcing those decisions.
Alrighty, Hike, go ahead and explain to the audience who you are.
My name is Hike. When I was in Forgotten RP, I was a civilian assistant and former interview manager. Currently, I'm in CVC and I am a probation again. So, yeah, after the month anniversary, I had multiple complaints about Crucifix not doing his job correctly, him changing the documents so he can add vehicles to his personal use. He's promoted multiple people that shouldn't be promoted. I've had to do countless reports while he's off playing Call of Duty. He'd purposely put his account offline so no one can see that he's online to fill out reports or deal with reports. I was getting sick and tired of it, and I constantly went to higher up staff. The only people that actually tried to do something about it was JÄGER and Slush. Every time I went to Plexbank about it, I'd tell him, be like, dude, you need to do something about this, or the server's not going to work without a civilian team. He was like, all right, I'll look into it. He gave the typical Plex answer of saying, I will look into it. So I believed him, and I was like, all right. So after the fourth time talking to him about making the civilian department or trying to change something within the civilian department, I got fed up. I went on LOA for, I think, 2 weeks. I went on LOA for a third time. The next time I came back, I filled out a department transfer. After that, I got the DM from Sobos saying to join this the GucciTooth server. This time I'm still in Forgotten RP and don't plan on leaving it. I'm just being a cop. I talk with Sobos and I talk with you, and then I look it through all the chats, all the truth chats and stuff like that, and it clicks on me what's actually going on.
Do you feel like people were being taken advantage of there? When I say that, I'm talking about like the work they do and people are just being used to help push his agenda, which is obviously try to make a better server than CVC, as he stated before. Do you feel like that was kind of his main concern?
Oh yeah, I feel like I was personally taken advantage of just to help the server grow.
Then something happened during this time frame that I'm completely disgusted by. I don't care what type of owner you are, whether it's an RP server owner or just an owner of a Discord server in general, you should not sell your RP servers. Now, whether this is against Discord TOS or not, the fact of the matter is that it's dirty. Plex created a Discord server with all of our members, stole all of our documents and chats, stole all of our staff members, and what's the first thing he wants to do a month after he makes a server? Sell it.
I don't know, I'm a 5M developer, Poogan's ex-head dev, CAD developer.
And for anyone wondering, you are sick, correct, Hypers? You are sick?
Yes.
Okay, so you are not the fake Hypers, you are real Hypers.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you're the one that Plex tried to sell the server to. What happened with that?
I was gonna end up leaving CVCRP to do my own thing. I was gonna create my own RP server, see how it went. After I had contacted Plex Bank about getting the Xbox server, paying for it, so that way I could own the Xbox side of things. At the time, I had known that this was FGRP. At the time, I had known that Plex Bank had left CVCRP along with all these other people and stuff. That's why I felt really bad and didn't tell Poogan immediately, because I was still trying to decide. Because, you know, Poogan had that at that time, like, that was the prime point when he had just lost all his members, like, everybody left. So I went and I contacted Plex Bank to purchase his to purchase his FGRP Xbox server at the time. And I wanted to, originally, I was going to create a 5M server, obviously, because I play 5M, and I was just going to have a 5M Xbox server. FGRP was just going to be merging into us after I purchased it.
Were you informed, or were you aware at the time of what Plex Bank was becoming known for, or were you kind of not?
It had happened. And then after we had talked so much about me purchasing the server and stuff, I had to break the news to Poogan that I was going to very simply be leaving CVC, starting my own server. I was going to purchase FGRP, whatever it was. Then when I was in that call with Poogan, telling him about all of this, Poogan had told me who Plex Bank really was and why he had left it. And that's when FGRP kind of was exposed for, like, you know, the owner and how he wanted to sell his server. Because that's what he wanted to do, was sell me his server. And at the time, I believe the mentioned amount was, I'm like 70% sure it was 100, but I do remember the original offer being 50, which he wasn't interested in. So for $100, he was gonna sell me. The original plan was what he wanted, not my plan. He wanted to have me purchase the server. It would literally, all that would change would be it would go under my server's name, which at the time was Borderline RP. So it would just be Borderline RP Xbox instead of Forgotten RP Xbox. And he would get full ownership of the Xbox server. He would do whatever he wanted with the Xbox server.
No, the biggest counter argument that I've heard coming from him and people that are related to him is, what would he get out of selling his server? Like, why would he want to sell his server for $100? What if you were, you know, getting the server? Like, what would he get out of that? So why do you think he was so up to sell the server to you and, like, merge with you and all that?
Very easy. The only reason actually why we wanted to change the name in the first place was because everybody sees FGR members of the band, or band members of CVC. That's what it was, and that's what it really truly came out. I didn't know it was that originally. I just figured, oh well, this is just everyone from CVC and then some band people. And I was like, oh, so everybody, you know, DOIJ, URP, I believe it was LBRP at the time, and even CVC alone, they all see FGRP as this hate server with band members in it. We change the name, right? We give them that opportunity. We take away Plex Bank's owner role, so Plex Bank doesn't own the server of band members. Put it under a new name, new owners, change everything around, make it look a lot more professional, a lot more successful, really. In general, it would overall make FGRP evolve from what it was to a generic, normal RP server.
Okay, so and just to finish it off here, this did happen, correct?
Yes.
Okay. else that you would like to go over? Anything that you feel like people don't know but need to know about that server? Because you had a lot of insight that some people don't have. So.
Donation money.
So donations. Okay. So what about donations do you want to get into here?
I'll just go over the whole fucking thing here. Basically, so one night I got a random ass call from Plex Bank. I was, at a friend's house and I'm just chilling, and I get a call from him telling me to not put him on speaker and that I need to actually call him. So I called him and we're talking, and he's telling me that he's not able to do donations through his bank account anymore. His mother apparently had a huge freak out on him for involving his banking info. He asked me and Lutasi if we could use our banking information for donations. So after that, we had already gained $100+ on his bank info on his PayPal, and he eventually switched his PayPal over to his real life friends' PayPals, and that money was not transferred, to my knowledge, ever to the forgotten PayPal now. I'm not trying to say that he stole the money, but really, with those two things there, it just really seems like he did.
And what are these rumors? Well, actually, they're not rumors. They are proven. We do have screenshots of all this too. What's with the PayPal being created before the server was even released? What's that about?
You can ask any of the devs. We all voted no to donations. I said no one's gonna want to donate to a brand new RP server. I said, no one's gonna want to donate to this. We need to get on our feet first, and then that's when we can start considering donations. Basically what happened is all of us agreed that donations were not going to be a thing, and Plex Bank just made donations a thing anyways. So that was one thing he kind of did behind our backs, but we didn't really notice at the time. But I told Plex Bank that we're not, donations are just fucking not right. They're not viable at this time. I mean, you didn't start doing donations until 6 months into you owning your server? Yeah, we did donations before our server was fucking released.
Out of nowhere, September 5th, GucciTooth unblocked me on Discord and contacted me, apologizing for the stuff that was going on and wanted to talk to me. I was so happy to finally have someone that wanted to talk to me and hear my side of the story. I talked to Gucci for 2.5 hours, bringing up the information I had on Plex trying to sell the server, which at the time I told no one besides Josh, his admin at the time. Gucci decided to tell his friend Robert, and they both decided to leave Forgotten that night. Now this was just enough to get Plex Bank's attention to come talk to me. And it went a little something like this.
Oh, hey Poogan.
You and him talked about a price that you agreed with and we're planning on going with. That was in your verbal conversation.
That's complete bullshit.
Is
That's
it?
The fact
Is
yeah, it is.
Okay.
And the fact that you're sitting here talking to me about that and creating that drama, shame on you.
You
you have
know
to have some sort of
that it
proof.
was done in a verbal call. I cannot believe how angry you're getting about this. I think that you're being called out.
It's crazy because
Is
you're
it?
sitting here
Is it
lying to
crazy?
me.
Why would
Yeah,
Why would I have to lie about
you're
something
gonna
that? Why would I lie about
because
something
maybe,
like that?
Maybe because you're mad because we built a more successful community than you have right now, and that we're doing more than you are ever doing,
Oh
and now you're getting upset about it and setting me up.
Really? Because I've had CVC
I originally
for 3
thought that
years.
maybe. So do you really think sitting here going in a circle is actually how to figure something?
First off,
So
I'm not going in a
do
circle
you
with
think-
you.
do
I
think that
explained to
telling people
you.
this and doing that is actually going to do something because it's not true,
Actually,
and you
first
have no
off,
proof because
I
there is-
barely told anyone. I only told a
That's
fair
bullshit. You made a
few
whole video.
people. So I
on
can
that
tell
note,
you're
I'm
upset.
kidding.
You're not thinking straight. You're very upset about something that
Because it
you
wasn't,
thought wasn't
so-
true. You know full well what you're doing, and you hate being called out for it. People are starting to find out the person you actually are behind the screen because you're a liar and you act all fucking subtle. You act all cool with people, and once you get called out for your shit, you freak out. I know people just like you, and they don't get far anywhere. You're a manipulator and you're a liar.
So, I mean,
Well, what's funny
really
is,
concerned, or you?
I remember that you were talking
Am
over
I
me this entire
manipulating or
time,
you?
and you were
Honestly.
manipulation right there. Keep going. I love it. This is perfect.
Manipulation.
Yes.
Keep going.
Try to. What have I done to you in this
I'm not
conversation that has not been civil? And when was I screaming over you? Because if
You're
I
making up
remember, is you've been yelling over me the last 10 minutes in this call, and I've been letting you talk for at least 15 minutes. Okay, Flex. Here, you told me that going in circles does nothing, but you're still going in circles with me. If you didn't care, you would have said, "I'm telling the truth." That's it.
No, I care the fact
But
that
you're making a
that
big
drama.
deal about it.
That's really funny.
I didn't make drama, Plex. Your
Okay,
members come to me
alright,
and
cool.
attack me,
So,
but you
all
won't
I'm
talk about
saying
that.
is-
You
okay,
won't talk
so-
about that, will you?
Okay. No, I actually did talk about that.
No,
actually
you
have a
wouldn't, because
video
they're still
coming out.
doing it.
No, are you gonna listen?
Yes, please.
I mean, you just want to cut me off. I actually made a video about.
I've already contacted you. You have done nothing to stop it in the past. Why would I want to do that again in the future and waste my time?
So that's what I'm gonna say. I never tried to sell my server.
You did. You did.
Uh,
But that's okay.
Okay. Okay, Poogan.
Okay.
You're a funny man.
Thank
you really
you.
are.
I don't know how this is funny, you selling your server, but
It's
gotcha.
real. It's
And also, your Civ director, I believe Crucifix, isn't he a Civ assistant Civ director in that server? And isn't he also
yeah.
a cop? Yeah. Did you see the picture that's been floating around now of him being racist? Is that okay in your server too? Is he allowed to be doing that? Being racist and being disrespectful? Is that okay? Especially with all the Black Lives Matter protests going on right now? With this day and age? Is it okay to be racist and have them on your staff
First of
team?
all, Black Lives Matter is a political movement that you shouldn't be mentioning in this situation.
I think that it's empowering.
That's a sensitive subject.
How is it
actually.
sensitive to any of you in here? Please
I'm
try
actually
to
I'm mixed Italian. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? My cat's
try
black.
to twist. What was
Because
offensive
you
about me
think-
bringing up? What was offensive about me bringing up a protest?
Comparing that and saying that he's racist in Black Lives Matter movement, shame on you. You don't even know the first thing about that.
You have gone down a drain you cannot get out of.
Fucking talking, god damn! You don't shut the fuck
See,
up.
you are
My
so
God.
angry. I love it, dude. You are falling
Gucci.
apart. And from that recording, people started to realize who they were dealing with. And Gucci, I want to just personally thank you for actually letting me have the chance to talk to him and call him out for that. And for you to actually come to me and give me the chance to have my opinion. Because I was muted for a month and a half. My name was dragged through the dirt and back. And I was never given a chance to give my side of the story. Evil Poogan that, evil Poogan this. And that is why the Fall of Forgotten began. And this is how they responded to it. They started banning people and blocking people from talking to me, from being a part of my YouTube channel, for playing games with me, for being in the GucciTooth, for being in CVC. Any server that I'm in and you accidentally are in there with me, you're gone. You're done. They were so terrified of the truth and losing members that they put a ban on anyone talking from me. If I wasn't telling the truth, why would it be such a big deal to talk to me? Why didn't they block people from talking to me a month ago when my entire family, including me, were being publicly harassed, information was leaked, my address is being sent everywhere, and pizzas are being spam delivered to my house? They don't decide to stop people, but they stop them when the truth comes out.
And when another community comes up to us and strips us of what we have and then wants to throw some complete bullshit out there that's not even true and want to discredit me and the community as a whole, that's an issue for me. And if you can't see that, I don't know what else I can say for you. So that server's an issue for me because of that. If you guys are just up there just gathering, having fun, that's cool. I get it. But once I've made four multiple announcements, maybe not four, maybe three.
It's just a place to gather, so...
Okay. No, like I said, I get it. I do. I understand where you're coming from. The problem is that, look, that server created more issues. The owner of that server created more issues than needed, and that directly took a toll on our community, the community you're a part of. I take that personally because this is my community, this is your community, this is our community. And when that community targets us, CVC included, targets us and strips us of our members and strips us of whatever we have, I'm not gonna be happy with it. I do not want our members being in a community and a server revolving around that.
One question I got is what did we do to CVC? We did the exact same thing. We literally basically stripped its members off of bullshit lies and created drama.
Bullshit lies.
And yeah, we stripped that server to the point of we thought it was going to die because of it. And that's what literally this server is based off of banned players. And you can't tell me I'm wrong. Because the Forgotten Hub was literally dedicated towards, it was like a hate group towards Poogan and CVC. And you can't tell me I'm wrong off that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It used to happen. That's that. Freedom of speech exists because of tyranny and government. This is a private Discord server. There's no such thing as freedom of speech.
So we can't speak freely.
There's no such thing as no. I'm telling you, there's no such thing as freedom of speech. So when I delete your emoji, then you can.
I'm ShoneCloud. I was a chat mod towards the end of before I got banned in FGRP. I was also on the civilian side. I was a civilian assistant. I reached civilian rank 2, and basically I was in the inner sides of the department.
And so, Shone, you're actually a pretty interesting person when it comes to all this, because there is a pretty funny clip going around, and I'll show that right now. Okay, so there's a pretty funny clip going around right now of Plexbank telling you that your rights don't exist and the First Amendment right doesn't exist. It's a tyranny in government. What was going on with that? What even started that conversation in the first place?
Oh yes, that famous clip, that one and only. Pretty much what started it was me sending a clown emoji and a monkey emoji to the chat. Actually, not even sending it, reacting to messages with the clown emote. Harmless, I know. But it was the thing of apparently people were getting annoyed by it in some way, shape, or form.
So these guys got mad at you posting emojis, and they said people, but I'm guessing when they say people, they're meaning themselves, Tyson and Plex?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Because they had to go back and delete it, which they didn't have to, but yeah.
Why were they so upset about you posting a clown emoji?
I'm pretty sure the reason that they were upset about it is because they thought it had some type of inner meaning with the whole CVC thing. And they took that as some type of threat and took it as I was, trying to get a message across in the server, which, was just complete bullshit.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or say to people at home that they may not know?
Freedom of speech does exist in servers. Just because it's a private Discord server doesn't mean that your freedom of speech doesn't exist. If anybody says that to you, I would suggest thinking about leaving it, because that's just ridiculous, or fight it.
So, you've heard it here. Your First Amendment rights do not exist. You are not allowed to have your own opinion. You're not allowed to think for yourself. You are not allowed to talk to me or anyone else affiliated with me to get the truth. Some stuff you're dealing with in this RP community. And this is just 2 servers. This doesn't encompass DOIJ, URP, all these other servers that are notorious for drama. Let me just tell this to everyone. If you have a dream, if you have something you want to do, go for it. Do it. Don't let people stop you. And I want to thank everyone. Soroch, Gucci, Arise, Taqz, my past staff members, my future members, my present, my past members, for sticking with me and giving me the encouragement to stay. When my best friends backstabbed me and told me we would be brothers, and they fucking tried to use me for my server and completely destroy it with Plexbank, I thought all hope was lost. But here I am standing today with you in this chat right now, this recording. I'm still here, and CVC is still here. And I can tell you right now, we aren't stopping anytime soon. So it's up to you if you decide to stay in Forgotten. That's all good. Honestly, at the end of the day, we don't care. The biggest thing I cared about was getting the truth out and getting my opinion out, since I was held so long in captivity from being able to say anything. But here in CVC and here in the real world, your First Amendment right does exist, so I'm going to use it. And I just want to thank everyone once again for the dedication and the people that helped me when I wasn't feeling my best. does CVC do better than making the best RPs possible? Making the best fucking music, that's what we do. And I feel like the best therapy for dealing with a lot of dumb shit is to put it in song. So, oh, yeah, so we did that, by the way. We did that, so enjoy.
Yeah. Anabolic beats. Yeah. Forgotten, more like fucking rotten. Got him on the track, yeah, bitch, you be dropping those lies. Your members will finally know the truth, the proof, the Gucci truth. Thought we were fibbing, nah, we just kidding. We don't need to be even more forbidden from our rights that night. You remember that, right? What, you forgot? Let me remind you.
That's that. Freedom of speech exists because of tyranny in government. This is a private Discord server. There's no such thing as freedom of speech. No.
Whoa, he just said that. Here, take the golden crown. Congrats on becoming RP's biggest clown. Thinking forgotten is the best flex. CVC's at 3 years, bro, and that's a big flex. Y'all been around a few months, keep trying. Sorry, but CVC doesn't plan on buying. You know it's true in your plans to keep lying. And that's why Forgotten's gonna keep dying. How you doing? Don't you like to raid? I ain't talking Shadow Legends, negativity's gotta fade. Still living at mommy's house at the age of 25. Put your ego in a box and stop the view box. YouTube! UPS is all you know, and it really shows. Hanging out with guys online that aren't your age though. Remember when you recorded me crying that day? Pretty fucked up, bro, didn't know you swayed that way.
How is it sensitive to any of you in here? Please try to twist that to be offensive.
50% Italian, 100% black. Bro, that's like 150% whack. From my POV, you're an SOB. Run up on you like a cheetah black. I sent the wrong pizza. Relax, my man, silent. We are just going in. This ain't USSR, but to you it fucking is. Time to end it here since we're just going in circles. That isn't a request, that's an executive order.